Hello and welcome to a brief introduction to the GAR iPhone app. That's the General Aviation Report, which is required for light aircraft whenever they come into the UK or whenever they travel intra-common travel area. Opening up the app brings a warning. This app has been developed with volunteer labour. We don't provide a support service. You are responsible for the accuracy of your own input, and the Home Office is responsible for delivering a receipt. All stuff is stored on databases on your own machine and is only visible to you if you have it passworded. So we click on Agree to start off. We have improved the layout from the 2013 version. A number of people said that they felt the additional features disturbed them, but we have kept the additional features in, but under different menus, because they are popular and useful and are now only available to subscribers to onlinegar.com. So at the top we have the basic GAR services: manage previously submitted GARs, resume the last one that was going on, review what you've just put in, and then send the GAR. Down the bottom we have the added value features and utilities. Just quickly click on utilities. There is a preferences, but if you're using the GAR in its basic format, you do not need to enter preferences. We have a facility for submitting flight plan, but it's not gone live yet. Airfield Gazetteer provides you with details of runway, frequencies, telephone numbers, and indeed NOTAMs. Backup: if you're a subscriber to onlinegar.com, you can back up your logbooks and your GARs to the cloud. The logbook provides a facility for automatically recording flights and showing them on maps. But that is of no relevance right now. We're going to introduce the basic GAR function. Now the GAR, it consists of three parts. The first part is the header information about the aircraft and owner. The second part is the journey, and the third part is the people on board. Now, where is it, you may ask? Well, in traditional iPhone fashion, you have to swipe to get a new screen. Swipe for GAR forms. So if we swipe from right to left, we get the first piece of information, the header information as it's called. We swipe again, we see the journey. This is set out for an outbound and an inbound journey. You do not need to fill in an outbound journey if you are simply coming into the UK from the EU or another country. You can separate them. You can send your outbound journey at a different time from your inbound journey. The software will deal with it. Add passenger. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. So back to the beginning. We want to send in a GAR. We'll go to the header information, enter the aircraft registration, and if all this is quite tedious, you can save. For the first time, you type in all this information and so on, and you can save this page as a default. Actually, we haven't put in the owner, so let's try that. And save this page. Save, like so. If I clear that, now every time you come to fill in a GAR, you can simply go load defaults on this page. That's one page complete. We want to come inbound. Let's suppose we're coming in from Calais. Click on that field and move to France. There's France. Find, oh, there's Calais. It's one of the first ones on there. There we go. Now, some people find it easier just to type in. So if we clear that and click twice on the label to the left, inbound departure point, two clicks, and now we can type in Calais. And tap on it and it fills it in. Now the same thing applies to coming in. Let's suppose we're going to Lyon Solent. If you don't know the ICAO code, it's easier to use the keyboard, so let's clear that. 2 clicks on there, keyboard comes up, and we just type in L E E O N, and there's only one of them. There we go, much easier. At any time, if you want to clear this space and see the whole screen, just click on one of the Done buttons. You can see it automatically scrolls to the correct place. 25th of January, let's suppose we're coming in at 1:30. That is, firstly it should be noted that's departure time. That's the departure time from your origin. This is to keep it in line with the flight plan and is now mandated. I know that the paper version of the GAR still asks for the arrival time. That will be changed in 2014 to fall in line with the flight plan. You put in your estimated off-blocks time and you put in your flight plan estimated time en route. This can be entered as hours and minutes, like so, or as hours decimal 1.33, like so. So we left at 13:30. You'll see the results of that in a second. Move on. Add a passenger. Well, adding the passengers and crew is probably the most tedious part of entering any GAR. So let's have a look at how it happens. There's a lot of, click on that, there's a lot of information to enter. There are 3 full pages, addresses, date of birth, etc., etc. We type it in, it is tedious. Now we come to long passport number optional. What's that all about? Well, at the bottom of your photo page on the passport there is a 28-digit long passport number. If you cut, paste and enter that, it will fill in about 4 or 5 fields on this page automatically for you. But for the time being we're going to ignore that. I'm going to demonstrate that in a separate way later. Put in your status, pilot or skipper. That's not mandatory, but it's helpful to the Border Force, and the more helpful you are to Border Force, the less chance they are going to come and meet you. United Kingdom, date of birth. Now what's this all about? It comes up with a date dialogue at today's date. Now, if you have accumulated any years, you'll find that sliding back that roller is a bit tedious. So, optional age, if we go to there and just put in like so, click done, and it takes you to the 1st of January of that year, and then you can just change the birthday appropriately. Travel document expiry, probably sometime in the future, like so. Issuing state, no, not Aruba, United Kingdom. We are not travelling without a passport on this occasion. So, go to the next page. Address line, well, I'm just going to put postcode in. And save. Now that was long-winded. Let me show you a quicker way of doing it. We can edit that, like so. Save. Or we can delete it, like so. Now I'm going to add a passenger or a crew member all over again. Go back to the first screen and add contacts list. Now I happen to have my own address and my long passport number in my phone book contacts in the notes field of the phone book. If you take the 28 characters from the passport photo page and put them in as the first 28 characters of the notes field, you can precede them with a hash if you like, but they must end with a space. So that's all I've done, and on that's what happens. The whole of this is now filled in for me. Date of birth, expiry date, issuing state, and my address. So let's just do that once again. We want to add a passenger, add from contacts, find the contact, go and save. And it's as quick as that. Now we have the GAR complete. We go back to the main menu, review the GAR. Looks alright. Yes, it said 1:30 and it's coming up 1 hour 19 minutes. Probably rounding down on the decimals there, but it doesn't really matter. Just click send and it will contact, if you have Wi-Fi or data, mobile data active, it will contact, and it can take up to 40-50 seconds, maybe as much as a minute, but there we go, that's how long it's taken. That's a live submission you've just seen, and it says we've successfully submitted the GAR, now writing to the database. Just click on OK. Now to see that GAR, if you're ever challenged, all you do is go to Manage GARs and down here somewhere, I'm sorry, we have quite a lot of data in here. There we go. LFAC, there's our the one we've just put in. I'm highlighting it now. That number there after the registration is the critical one for Border Force. You don't even need to open this up. Just show them where from, where to. That gives the date, that gives the timing, reference, registration number, and that's the unique ID there, 2466248. The rest of the number is just where it was originated from, which is no great concern. Now you can reinstall that, just use it as a template, like so, and then you'll see the information that you put in previously. Go back. The only place you see that reference number is in this list there, and that's the reference number that you need to show to any officer challenging. Let's go back and say, okay, I don't really want to go at that time, I have to send a cancel message. So we just send a cancel message having highlighted that particular GAR. Send cancel. It's doing it live now, and cancel is complete and tells me it's successful, and it's changed the colour of that to a pink or a purple. And that concludes the brief introduction to the GAR. Thanks for listening.